The infamous 2021 Lexus LX570, yes, the SUV that absolutely definitely did not hit John O'Keefe, will not be donated to science, but instead will be going up for auction. According to Bill Broussard of JB Auto Care, it didn't just need a tune-up and a Clorox wipe down, no. It required thousands in repairs because when it arrived, there were mice living in it. Because of course there were. This and more in today's video.
There was actually a rodent infestation inside of the car, inside of the filter areas.
Hello, and welcome back, roommates, to another titillating edition of Alexasrewm, where we are not lawyers, we are not medical professionals, and we are not law enforcement, we are just people. People who have opinions about all things going on in the true crime community, including Karen Reed's Lexus now hitting the auction block. Fully repaired, rodent evicted, and ready for its redemption song. Which is sad news for Shanna Bagel, who is not only now out of a job, but out of a college dorm as well, too.
If I did the math correctly, sir, you've been pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree for 17 years, correct?
That is correct.
And you have not obtained it as you sit here today.
That is correct.
So if you recall, this vehicular Lazarus moment was first teased back on the Howie Car Show. I think it was a couple of months back when a Weymouth auto body shop owner agreed live on the air that, yeah, I'll fix it. We'll fix it free of charge. After the vehicle had spent some 45 months rotting in police custody, like a forgotten lean cuisine in the back of a break room freezer. And then sometime in early September, Bill Broussard says he received a call from Alan Jackson and Steve Bouzang to arrange for a time for her Lexus to get towed to his shop. And now, according to the shop owner, Karen Reed is expected to sell the vehicle at auction in the coming weeks once they find a venue that is large enough to hold this auction. So I guess the Smithsonian's off the table. Maybe Ripley's, believe it or not, is fielding offers. It runs great. It only has 12,000 miles. It's a really nice car if someone is looking for a vehicle. I see you out there. Get in on the auction. Broussard said J.J. Manning Auctioneers will conduct the auction, but no auction has yet been organized or scheduled again. This is because I guess they're still looking for a venue that is big enough to hold this auction. And if you recall, last year Karen Reed had sold her Mansfield home for a cool $810,000 to help pay for her legal defense.
Look, if they ain't paying your bills, you pay them bitches no mind.
And the Kelley Blue Book says the low mileage SUV, if in great condition, which I mean, we'll look at the pictures in a second, and a base model is worth about $71,000 in Massachusetts. Comparable cars for sale in that price range can be found online. So I'm guessing this auction is also to help fund the new Avenger-style legal team that she has currently assembled for herself on the civil defense side. But $71,000, 12,000 miles. I mean, my 2014 Mazda is out here praying for a dignified death and selling for the price of a half-eaten Panera sandwich, so slap me silly and call me Judd Welcher.
It's possible it could have shot off into space as an engineer, but not probable.
Oh, you think it's possible that it could have been shot off into space, sir?
As an engineer, it's a possibility.
It's a possibility that
Absolutely.
this Lexus could have been shot off into space?
Yeah, highly, highly unlikely. But
All
again, you're asking an engineer about possibilities and probabilities.
Let's get back to reality.
Eat your heart out, Elon. Broussard said Reed's SUV was in rough shape when he received it in September, after years of sitting idle. In all, he said, the shop performed a few $1,000 worth of repairs, though Reed was not charged for any of it. Broussard said he has not met Reed, but he has texted with her. There were mice living in it. Like live mice, or were they dead mice? We had to clean out the nests. It smelled like dead mice. Ah! The battery was dead. to be expected. The oil needed to be changed. Broussard said investigators had also removed the dashboard and chips from the radio system, which we knew about. JB Auto Care replaced the dashboard, but not the radio, which he said costs $15,000 to replace. So if you're bidding on this vehicle, just know you gotta cough up the dough to put in a radio. Gotta call Exhibit and pimp your ride. All right, so here are some of the photos from the article, and shout out to @BritHappens on the Twitter X's for sharing this. Here is all the before photos, right? I mean, it is ripped to shreds. It looks like something out of Grand Theft Auto. For the love of Joe Paul, what the hell was he and the other members of the Chum Bucket doing in that thing? I know he's a big gulp guy, but that's just so disgusting. I just want to know where this thing was being stored after Higgity Diggity and his good old pal, rest in pepperoni, Kenny Berkowitz, finished fawning over this thing and Proctor was done humping the taillight. Like, was it indoor? Was it outdoor? I'm assuming eventually it was moved outdoors since it's a tank and they probably had other vehicles they had to play musical cars with that needed evidence logging. So I know it was in the Sallyport, but did it move to the barracks at some point? What's the pest control situation looking like? Rodent control? I have questions about it, and I'm sure this isn't the only vehicle that this has happened to, but the fact that it was in police custody for nearly 4 years is absolutely ridiculous. Now, I had always assumed she owned the SUV outright, but apparently she was leasing it at the time that it was seized. And according to David Bianyak, at some point during the investigation, she stopped making lease payments, and I understand that because if I'm not driving, I'm not paying for it. The state should pay for it, right? So when the authorities released it, Broussard bought it from the leasing company and fixed it up with both new and used parts. Once we got everything here, we installed it. He said the battery was dead, the key battery was dead. There was actually a rodent infestation inside of the car, inside of the filter areas. So we cleaned that out. We actually got the car detailed, and the shop replaced the damaged taillight, as we saw in that photo earlier, as well as the audio and navigation systems. But again, because of some of the computer chips that were damaged during the good old chip off, the GPS and radio still do not work.
So David, what's this SUV worth now?
Well, you should probably know, Erica, that the radio doesn't work, and neither does the GPS on this SUV. But despite that, at least one expert we spoke with says Karen Reed's former SUV could well fetch into 6 figures. When Karen Reed's Lexus SUV arrived at this auto shop in Weymouth, no one had driven it in nearly 4 years. Not since police seized the vehicle from Reed and accused her of using it to kill John O'Keefe.
It has about 12,000 miles on the vehicle, so it's very, very new.
But one of the taillights was damaged, and investigators had torn apart much of the dashboard and interior.
There was actually a rodent infestation inside of the car, inside of the filter areas, so we cleaned that out.
Reed never actually owned the SUV. She leased it and stopped making payments. When authorities released the SUV back to the leasing company, the auto shop owner bought it and fixed it up. His son says he now plans to sell it and give all the proceeds to Reed, who was found not guilty of O'Keefe's death.
So whatever it makes, it's not for your dad, it's not for the shop?
Correct, yeah, it's directly for her.
And meanwhile, it looks like the House defendants are taking a gap year from responding to Karen Reed's complaint. So they're looking to extend the deadlines for moving defendants to answer or otherwise respond to the complaint by 31 days, rendering such filings due on or before January 16th, 2025. You mean 2026, right? So, in the words of my future ex-wife, Georgia Kappelman, stay tuned. God, she looks stunning in red. And with that said, if you enjoyed today's content, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video from me. Make sure you hit that like button, because that tells the YouTube algorithm that other people might want to watch this too, and if they do, that's great, and if they don't, then we will press on and touch grass. So, thank you, as I don't know what I'm doing with my fingers, but thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Why am I always talking with my hands? It's the Italian thing, and I'm not even that Italian, I'm more Polish. Ah! Bye-bye.
And I said there's no way you could have known there were 12,082 beans in that jar without cheating you.
I told you. I used a complex algorithm based on the dimensions of the jar.